Did you happen to catch Inoue's fight this week?
No, I did not wake up at 3 a.m. to watch that.
But there's still ways to find it. There's still ways to see it.
I watched it the next day on Instagram.
Okay, but everybody said that. Everybody goes to the same thing. No, I ain't getting up there. Hey, I found it. And when it was an opportune time.
Well, it was, all I needed to do is wake up and scroll through my reels and see that, he stopped him early on. So
yeah,
I was good.
One of the best in the world. There's no secret to that. But how do you compare him to everybody in the fight game right now?
No, I think he's definitely up there pound for pound. I mean, he's super explosive. He's stopping everybody.
Yeah.
He's a little bit less of a presence here in the United States, so it's like hard to really follow him and like become like a huge fan. But no, definitely rate him. He's a great fighter.
You feel like he has to come here to the States?
I mean, this is like, he's obviously doing a great job in Japan, right? He doesn't necessarily need to. He's making the money. He's gonna, he's doing what he's got to do. Yeah. But like, there's a difference. I think there's something special about making it in the United States. Like, it's a little bit more difficult. It's a harder market. So it's a challenge. Yeah. It's a challenge. If you really made it, you've made it in the United States.
And you've had 2 fights in England?
I've had 2 years of fighting in England.
2 years of fighting.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
So, you done? You done?
Well, unless I have to down the line. Yeah. But for now, yeah, back in America.
How was that experience opposed to fighting here in the States, though?
I really liked it. The UK audience really took well to me. They were really supportive. They were fun. I love the fan base there. They're a really great crowd to perform in front of. But I did miss fighting here in America and like having my friends and family come and support, and then being able to fight on ESPN and just having it more accessible. And just being around my top ranked family and everything. You're on a different promotion, different card. It's like a different system. Everyone has a different way of going about the fight week. So I'm glad to be back in America. I really am.
Because they're so boxing crazy over there, though, did you actually get recognized more walking around in England than here?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I don't know about more. But I definitely felt like the love there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The passion.
Yeah, for sure.
About. Yeah.
It's easy. I told you we was gonna get her. We're gonna all through this thing.
Yeah. That's what you do.
He's sneaking in his questions too.
But to the point
he gonna clip it.
To the monster, Naoya Inoue took down Zoom Kim in 4 rounds.
Easy work.
Huh?
Easy work.
Well, replacement fight. Kim looked like he was forward though.
Well, yeah, he's physically strong.
Yeah.
And I think he believed in that. He believed in his chin a little bit
too much.
Yeah.
He got clipped.
But he was like a minus 5,000 underdog for a reason, His late replacement, just not, and it went to script, and Inoue, like Michaela said, is one of the most explosive fighters. I think Gervonta comes to mind too, but I think maybe the most explosive fighter in boxing. Do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely up there. Yeah, for sure. I just want to see him against people that we know.
Yes, in the States.
We can really compare. I think that's a lot of like a problem right now with boxing is like you don't. I mean, you're getting it with the women, obviously, but not so much with the men when it comes to like what an equal level playing field for these fighters. Like, there's always one person that is way ahead when it comes to like the stats, like who's going to win the fight. Like everyone kind of knows who's going to win the fight.
At the betting odds.
Yeah, the betting odds. That's what I meant.
Is there plans to bring him to America? Anybody?
Yeah, his next fight is in America.
His next fight?
Yeah, that's what Top
Thank
Rank
God.
said.
All right.
They confirmed it. And the Americans, Angelo Leo, Bruce Carrington, they have to elevate themselves to where it's like you got to see that. Particularly, I think Carrington. I feel like Angelo Leo, for some reason, that might make more sense in Japan. For Angelo, he could make his life-changing money, maybe even more over there. But Bruce, I mean, we talked about it last year here on the show. He seems like the guy that, if he can get his hands on a world title, maybe against Espinoza, Nick Ball, whoever, then that's the fight in New York, Madison Square Garden. Inoue can come to America, fight an American in the Garden, and I think a lot of people would be picking Carrington because he's young and got a lot of
right now, I don't know if Carrington would be ready for Inoue, or for Inoue.
Well, no, but I'm saying he has to go through a level to be ready for Inoue. Like,
that's what I'm saying. He still needs like a handful of fights to get ready for that. So we'll see. But obviously, I would love to see him go up against a top American name that we know, like Carrington, if he can continue to build his career and show out and do his thing, which he's been doing.
And you know, we celebrated Diggy's birthday yesterday, and Zittel walks up to me, and I was hearing a different language at first. Like, I didn't understand what he was talking about. But he said, you know what, Sean, I got to give you your flowers. And I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, man, I'm telling you, man, I was watching this and that fighter.
Donald Curry.
Go ahead. Like,
I was watching, I was watching Donald Curry against Milton McCrory and Lloyd Hunnigan.
Pause. And I'm like, he's throwing some names at me. And I'm like, I'm like, okay, let me go with this. Go ahead.
And then I watched, because Pacheco was getting ready to fight. And Pacheco, we know his frame, tall, fighter. And I'm like, let me watch Michael Nunn too, just to see how it's done. Like to give like Pacheco, okay, what should Pacheco be doing? Well, let me watch someone with his frame that did it at the highest level. Anyways, I'm watching all these fights and I start watching Michael Nunn and James Toney. And I'm like, man, the pace, no disrespect to the sport now, but it feels like on average, the pace in these fights has come down
so much.
A lot. And I'm not even just talking about punches thrown. I mean, if they weren't punching, they were feinting. They were doing something. And a lot of times in those fights, what made them so great was both fighters were doing everything right at the same time. And that's where you get those amazing high-level exchanges, is the tall guy's doing exactly what he's picking, the exact punches he's supposed to on the outside. The shorter guy's doing exactly what he's supposed to do to get past those shots and so it's just, and I gave Sean credit because I said, you were cut from that cloth. If you weren't punching, you were in and out, you were feinting, you were setting up something else in the distance, and that was my props to Sean. And
right.
And
I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, I was a little lost. It took, you walked away and I started to kind of like ingest everything that you said. I was like, all right, cool. Like, it makes me feel good to know that.
Yeah.
But then I watched Inoue's fight and I'm like, I'm listening, I'm hearing what you were saying to me. I'm like, yo, Inoue's cut from that cloth of being a throwback fighter that's explosive, that's fast, that's sharp, that is accurate, that knows what he wants to do as a dictator at all times. Even in moments where he's giving his fighter the room to do something, it's like, I'm giving this to you because I want to create something, you know what I mean? And I thought about what you said after you said it to me. I was like, well, you gotta put Inoue in that same category. And I wanted to hear your take on that. He, to me, is a true throwback fighter.
Oh, yeah, no, and his footwork is a little underrated. Not only like his base when he throws power shots and how incredible his balance and technique, the combination of power and speed, but even fleet of foot.
He's so balanced. Did you use that word?
Yeah.
Like, he's so balanced. Like, when I watch him move, it's like this. You never see him teeter. There was one point he threw a punch and he missed. That's a teeter there. But, And I saw that too, where there were moments where he got a little lazy against Kim.
He's not perfect. Like, his chin's up sometimes. He could be
got a little lazy, but for the most part, I was like, yo, this dude is dynamite.
He's amazing. He's special.
Yeah. Gotta give it to him. And then
although 23 was amazing. He became undisputed. He knocked out Fulton. I think a lot of us thought that was going to be a competitive fight because Fulton's really good. But 24, he fought Neri, but it's like, okay, it's been a minute now since you, like, to your point about wanting to see him fight names. It's like, okay, well, you should fight Junto Nakatani. But now he's doing what Canelo did to Benavidez and what Crawford did to Ennis. Like, I don't really want to give this young guy a shot. I want to move up and do other fights. And I get that, but hey, Inoue, fight Nakatani. People want to see that. And
I do want to see that.
If you're going to stick around 22, otherwise go up to 26 and let's see those challenges at 26. If you're going to stick around 22, fight Nakatani.
Yeah.